All right, let's get this shared to the socials. Hit the jingle.
Okay. Yep. Quick sharesy share.
That is done. I need to get.
It keeps changing its UI and it's driving me nuts. Oops. You know, if you're fat thumbing it, you can talk about how your life with or your lice with your friend.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have lice, I guess.
This is 58, right?
It is indeed.
Crazy. All right. Let's hit the jingle and get rolling.
Let's get it. I gotta turn off this fan. Good morning and welcome to episode 58 of the Slightly Above Average Gaming Podcast. I am J007TV, joined as always by the homie SuboneKD. What's good, man?
Hey, what's going on? Well, I have walls now, and they have paint on them, so that's positive.
Looking good, my dude. Looking good.
No more the disaster of my garage on display for everybody. Sorry, folks, if that's what you're if that is what you've been tuning in for, you'll be grossly disappointed. But otherwise, yeah, doing well. I am dragging this morning. Oh Lord. So yesterday, instead of flying to New Zealand, which is completely fine, by the way, even Call of Duty admits that it's fine. We can talk about that in a minute. But it was, I decided to my goal was to make sure that I had this place ready so I could stream Black Ops on launch day. So I stayed up till 2 a.m. doing it. I got the place done by 12. And then I took my computers because they were dusty and I hadn't cleaned them in a minute. And I cleaned the heck out of them, upgraded the RAM in my gaming PC, added a new hard drive in my streaming PC, set everything up because I'd taken everything down and kind of got everything set where I wanted it. And then nothing turned on. My gaming PC would not display, like nothing out of any display port to any monitor. I tried like 4 different monitors. My hard drive was nowhere to be found in my streaming PC. Internet wasn't working. It was an awesome 1 o'clock in the morning thing to discover.
I wouldn't have been able to go to sleep after that, until I had it fixed.
That's why I didn't go to sleep till after 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about fucking right, dude. Like, I remember, like, when I got just getting, like, this new capture card, like that 4K, the Elgato 4K, like, trying to get that shit to work. Oh, my God. It was, like, a 2-day thing. Like, that's how things always go for me when it comes to, like, a new PC or, something like that. It's always, like, the day I want to have everything set up and use it, I don't get to do that. It's always, like, the next day because I'm either missing a cable, I plugged something in wrong. And at that point, like, I feel like Clark W. Griswold from the Christmas Vacation when he's trying to plug in the lights and he's like, yeah, that's happens. Exactly how I feel with my capture card. So, well, that's good. I'm glad you got it fixed. I was up at Oklahoma State on Wednesday night and Thursday, went to a local brewery Wednesday night with kind of a distribution partner. And then we had a new system that we've been working on that we demoed to 150 people. So that was cool. And I'll tell you, we were like the second part of the demo. And the third part, I talked to the host who's also on the board of directors with me for the org that we work with. And I'm like, hey, you going to be upset if I like dip on out of here? Like, right after my part. And she's like, no, go ahead. Because it was like a 3-hour drive, dude. And I'm like, and it was like 2:30. I ended up getting home by about 6, but I was just fucking like exhausted. So I slept for an hour or so, give or take. And then I got up and I started my stream at 8 and I ran some Modern Warfare 3. So this is Thursday night. Ran some Modern Warfare 3, and then like the last 2 hours ran some solos, and just for whatever reason couldn't get anything going. I was just getting shit on. And so the game went live at like 11 o'clock Central Time, and I played till about 2:30 on Thursday night.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. Thursday night into Friday morning, and then I slept a little bit later yesterday.
Nice. Yeah, I went. I was going to take it easy yesterday because I was beat. So I went and played in the morning for a couple hours and then streamed that. And then went and played sat down in the evening and decided to play a little bit more, see if I can get that XM4 gold, and turned it off at like 12:30. So I did not do a good job of replenishing, repaying my sleep debt from yesterday.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm still kind of behind because I was up late again last night. I think total I've probably got 13 to 15 hours played already. I went long yesterday. I was on starting at like 1:30, maybe 2. My stream got knocked off. It's been doing that with OBS lately. I don't know why. And so, but then when I fired it back up, then I think it was like a 10 hours easy
Nice
stream. Yeah. Of just overall play time. So how are you feeling about the game? Like so far?
How am I feeling about the game? I like it. I think it's good. Overall, I think there are things that are better than we've had in the last 2 years in the Modern Warfare 2.0 era of the game, the IW9 engine. The movement is much more fluid. So huge W on that. Movement's good. The what else is good? The guns feel good so far. Kind of limited to the XM4, which is a bit of a pea shooter. Not going to lie. But it does well. The guns, but so far the guns that I messed with have felt good. I hear really good things about the campaign. We'll probably never play it because they didn't put it out early.
I might do it for content later on, like whenever Warzone starts
a slow part or something.
Well, whenever Warzone starts to hoe me like it has a tendency to do, I'll just fucking go play the campaign.
Yeah. And then, but otherwise, it's good. It's for a day one, it's good. Very few problems.
Yeah, I thought so too. It launched fine. Have you gotten the Dev Air?
Yeah, we got it on both PC and
times,
Xbox,
but not a lot.
The sound is an L. Sounds like shit.
That they're trying to sell that thing.
But that's not going to help it. It just, it sounds bad. It is probably not as bad as MW3, but it's like so. All right, so sound wise, I went and I tried. I played it a bit with. I played it with the Treyarch mix and the headphone audio shit that they want you to use. And I didn't see it. And I toggled that on and off, and I didn't see a difference.
So I swapped over from the Treyarch mix to Sucker Punch. That's one of the mixes, and you do get a little bit more bass out of that one. So like your more low end stuff. I actually I don't have a huge issue with the sound, especially since I switched to that. But also, like I said, before we went live, I think that this right one is kind of going out, like the volume on it. It's very, very low. Mm-hmm. So, but overall, there's so much going on in game anyway. It's hard to hear. Like the only thing I would really complain about not hearing would be footsteps. And even that, when they run Ninja, you're not going to. It'd be the same as Modern Warfare 3. You're not hearing those fucking footsteps at all.
Yeah.
So.
And, I put on, I turned on Artist's Worst tune, and that sounded way better than the in-house stuff still. So that's going to be a thing. And then I tried I played it with my TV speakers, and then I used my SteelSeries Arcticus 9 headphones on the Xbox. And overall, aside from the Artist's War tune, because that has just got so much going on that I've done to it, not just what he does, but that's my stuff on it. The TV speakers had the best footsteps.
That's crazy. And seriously though, so for those of you that don't know, Sub One, I don't know if it was during the pandemic or before, but he was in charge of audio and video for a church, right? Like you,
yeah.
And when he talks about sound, he's just like most other things. he's actually coming from a position of knowledge, which I can definitely appreciate that because, like, and you know how he is. He gets into the nitty gritty, fine fucking details, like real nerd level shit. So if he's telling you that the sound is off, I can kind of, there's got to be something there.
Yeah, and it's day one, it's launch day. There's usually patches to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not like, how do I phrase this right? I'm not saying that it can't be better, that it won't be better, and that there isn't. I haven't tried, like I said, I've just done it in the Treyarch mix where it's supposed to, the default.
Try Sucker Punch today, and then I'll
try Sucker Punch, and I'll try, so I'm going to keep messing around with it, and it's going to make a difference too between whether you're on PC or console and what you're listening on. So there's a lot to mess with. I feel like the settings there's a lot to mess with, but it's not as impactful, and it's harder to find some things. They've kind of nested a lot of settings, so I was a little frustrated trying to get it set up right. It took longer than I expected it to. But yeah, otherwise, little things, little irritations, we'll put it. Things bugging here and there, but generally, game's a W. I actually, when I was playing it and I was grooving on it, I had fun. We can talk about this. This is not on the list, but have you messed with the grenade timer, the cook timer?
No.
Oh, it's the best feature. I wasn't sure about it when I read about it, but it's the best feature, and here's why.
What? Is it in the settings?
No, it's in the game. The cook timer. When you're cooking a grenade, you get a little red ring, right?
Yeah.
And it closes down and then it goes off, right?
Yeah, I got some 3-pieces yesterday with some.
Dude,
with some
I have a compilation of just straight Kobe shots. Just yoink. No visual on where they are. Just kind of like, I know they're over there somewhere. Let's go fishing, and racking up kills. Including, I have one. The snow map.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one. That map sucks, but the snow map is there's those portholes, right? Like there's like a tunnel system, and I look between two buildings. I see somebody hop into the portal, cooked it up from downtown, made it right in the hole. Boom, kill.
Nice.
I need to go back and see the. I want to go back and mess with the theater mode because I want to see it from his perspective of just sitting in his little hole going, I'm going to camp this spot and see what happens. And then,
that reminds me, I've got to go and look and see if I've unlocked my tomahawk yet, because I'm going to be hitting clips with that. I can guarantee you.
Nice. How are you feeling about it?
Dude, overall, so it feels like Call of Duty to me. I can tell you, I didn't really feel Modern Warfare 3 more so than Modern Warfare 2. Like, Modern Warfare 2 didn't feel Call of Duty to me at all. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, just that real arcadey, like, fast pace. Like, it just felt like a lot of fun. And I started to feel that way about Modern Warfare 3, but this game makes me feel the same way I felt back when Call of Duty was kind of in its golden era. Fast paced, everything else. I mean, I know some of the maps probably leave a few things to be desired, but they're all original, and that's great. So, just overall, it's fun. I mean, and we're going to talk about, weapon leveling and those kind of things as we kind of move into the conversation. But, no, I think overall it's going to be a good year, dude.
Yeah, I think the bones are there for a good year. You know what? I'll say this. The Omni movement doesn't feel overpowered. So, like, in the early phases, it felt like, the YY TikTok kids, like, that's just the whole game was going to be YY TikTok weirdos running wild, right? And I haven't run into that much of it. And I mean, there's still time for people to learn it, but it feels accessible. And there's enough, it feels like there's enough of a delay where when somebody does something like when you do an omni movement thing, it's not like they don't daisy chain together very well. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
They'll probably tweak that, like, because the whole thing is, and they've kind of gone in a direction with last title and this, and they've mentioned it several times, is fluidity. So I think that they'll probably tweak some of that over the next few weeks. So that's pretty awesome. And I'll also say that the aim assist doesn't feel as sticky at all. Like, so I can tell a big difference between this and Modern Warfare 3, much less this and Modern Warfare 2. It's fucking night and day.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, I'll tell you, overall, I'm winning more than I'm losing, and I'm killing more than I'm dying, so I'm having a fucking great time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same. Like, I'm enjoying it, and it's definitely, the survivability is way higher than I expected. Like, I'm walking away from gunfights that I might have lost, and to be honest, some of the guys, I am embarrassed to admit how much aim assist has helped, because I'm losing gunfights because I'm not like manually tracking as much as I should, and so it's like so they'll do a little juke or something, and the aim assist, let's go, quick, let's go, and I haven't been as ready for it as I should be. It's a work in progress. I'm getting better at it, but it's one of those things that's unfortunate, and I got to work on that.
I've only noticed a couple times where I'm like, fuck, dude, I just totally just got wrecked because I didn't have aim assist or whatever. And that's, you know what, that's fine. I mean, because at the end of the day,
it's good because
we're not going to spend a long time on this, but we want it to be fair for everybody, for both inputs. That's it. And I feel like they're accomplishing that so far with this game. Now, I
don't want it to be fair for anybody but me. I want it to be the only one to have the advantage. But, it is what it is.
Did you see True Game Data's video that centering thing is back when you ADS through the sniper scope again? Like that issue that they had? Like, that's a fucking, like, that the reticle is not centering on what you're trying to aim at.
Yeah, I think it's back because there's an attachment that takes it away.
Yeah, because they fixed that, and the mouse and key folks were like happy as hell about it, which they should be, like, because that's an issue.
Is it in everything or just the snipers? Because in Modern Warfare 3, it's in the snipers too. It's not.
I don't know. I just know that, like, unless you're holding your breath in Modern Warfare 3, because I haven't got to snipers yet, dude. I've literally only been running the XM4 and the C9, and we'll talk about that in the weapon thing. But yeah, that's back. So I guess we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that and see if they're going to fix that again. The one thing I will also say is there's not all the trash at the end of the muzzle for this game.
Yeah,
and I fucking
much cleaner.
love that. I don't feel like I'm so, like, even being on controller, like, even within the last couple of weeks, there's been a few fights over on the other game that I'm like, I can't fucking see what I'm shooting at, dude. Like, It's just too much. Yeah. So anyway, so the maps. So these are the maps. I'll list them off and then we can kind of talk about them. Skyline, Subsonic. So Skyline was in the beta, Subsonic, Vault, Vorkuta, Red Card, Rewind was in the beta, Scud was in the beta, Protocol kind of was, in a way, Payback, Lowtown, Derelict was in the beta, and so was Babylon. I like the changes they made to the Skyline. So you saw over by the hot tub, it's kind of recessed down. Like, there's like little stairs now. So you actually can still kind of use a little bit of a head glitch there. And that'll be big also, too, if you're playing like Domination there or Hardpoint on that map. And the Hardpoint moves there. So you actually have a little bit of cover that's not just the sauna or hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the rest of the map.
And there's a great jump. There's actually a great jump point from the piano. I have a clip of me hitting that, like going. If you're on the piano side, you go through the window, and you can jump the gap and land right in front of the guys hiding in that corner.
Yeah,
and just shit on some kid doing that.
And you could go up the piano and get onto the second floor too.
Well, yeah, that was there before, but I don't think the jump point wasn't there before, where you can because you're jumping from where the piano is to the deck, to that new lowered portion of the deck.
Yeah.
So I jumped through that window and just landed right on this kid, and he screamed in the mic.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Great.
Yeah. So I think the map is good. I liked Skyline in the beta. So
Skyline's the best map. Skyline is the best map they've got this year so far, bar none. It's miles ahead of everything else. Protocol is terrible. Red Card's fun. I actually enjoyed Red Card.
I don't like Red Card.
It plays good on Domination. Enjoyed it on that one. Rewind, I like the aesthetic of Rewind, but that map has absolutely it's too big if it's not an objective mode, because you just can't find anybody.
Dude, I can't remember what map it was last night, but I swear to God, I kept running from one side of the map to the other trying to find people and couldn't fucking find anybody to kill for like the longest time. Like it was crazy, dude. My favorite, actually the map I like the most is Vorkuta. I know you don't like it, but I like snow maps. I think that map is fun. We've been playing TDM, KC, and Hardpoint. Those are the three modes that I have in my filter. I don't really like playing Dom unless I have like a full squad. So
Vorkuta has my best KD. It was a team deathmatch, and I went 12-2. And the reason I only got 12 kills is I couldn't fucking find anybody. I ran loops around that map and found nobody. The only time I would find people is when there was a red dot on the map, and I would go to the red dot and find a body. That map needs 10 people minimum. Get it out of the 6v6 rotation. Subsonic is fun. The one with the jet and the hangar.
Yeah, did you see that, like, so this happened to me once last night, and then I've been trying to do it. Right when the map launches, the doors aren't quite shut, and the other team is literally on the other side. You can toss a nade through those doors. Somebody fucking got me that way, and I've been trying to do it ever since, and it hasn't worked. But yeah, I don't know how I don't know. I like the craters. Those are good to use for like head glitches and stuff like that. Like, it's a decent map.
It's a good map. It has a good flow to it. It's not the best map, but it's a good map. It's fun. Definitely suited for like the 6v6, like Dom or Control, right? I can't imagine S&D on it. That would be terrible, I think.
I think so too. What about Vault? Did you like? I like Vault too.
I don't know if I played Vault.
So that's the one where you're at, I think, like one of Saddam's palaces, and there's a vault in the bottom that you can actually get through from the pool. And the fucking diving board actually works over there, by the way. I saw a video on that the other day.
I don't know if I got there yet. Maybe I have.
It's a fun map. And then there's like, so what's cool about it is like you have the pool area, but then there's like these little guest houses like that are on the basically in the corners of the map. And I mean, people will get up there and snipe and stuff like that, but yeah, like I think it's a pretty cool map. I like it. The map I actually dislike the most is Lowtown. I just don't like that map.
It's terrible.
Maybe it'll grow on me. I mean, I don't know. It's just not my favorite map, I guess. I don't want to say it's awful. Like,
you can say it's awful because it's awful.
If I was going to rate it like on a letter scale for a passing grade, I'd give it maybe a C-. You know, like I'd give Red Card and Lowtown a C-. And then obviously Derelict, and then you've got fucking Babylon, which is basically the shipment of this game.
It's the sucky wish.com knockoff version of shipment.
Yeah, but I mean, I like it because it is different, but one of two things is going to happen on that map. Either I'm going to get rolling and I'm going to drop, I think I dropped 55 on it yesterday.
Nice.
Or I'm going to end up playing against a sweaty ass team and just get absolutely shit on the entire match, which that also happened. So
yeah.
I like that map. Like,
the spawns are terrible though. They're so bad on that map. Like,
yeah, I don't know how you fix that either.
You just delete the map and put shipment back in. But it's like, the problem is half the time you get spawned into those little rooms that have the little archways out. And if the other team is like rolling, like I had one game where I was struggling to break even because half the team had quit. And so it was 3v6 and they just held the spawns. And it's like, you spawn in and there's only two like little entrances and they're this big. They're long. It's not like you can pop in and out. Like, you're stuck in that tunnel trying to get out of that spawn. Like,
yeah, you can get spawn trapped.
And
Paybacks like that too.
Yeah. And so it's like, the spawns are terrible in that map, but it's a small map, so I don't know. But
I'm curious which ones are going to be the comp maps. I know that I think it was Dashy and Shotzi from Optic Texas. They were like, these maps are fucking terrible, which they're
bad.
Listen, they're professionals. They spend 12 hours a day on the map, so they're going to know way more about that shit than me. But also, too, you got to keep in mind they're looking at it in terms of how it's going to play for the CDL and for comps. So, Oh, and I will say, big W for Treyarch, though. So in the custom modes, they've already got in the custom like private matches, they've already got the comp modes in there. So that's fantastic.
Good.
Yeah. So that's awesome. What did you go in the firing range?
A little bit for like 10 seconds. It's, the recoil pattern plate is nice.
Yeah, that is awesome. I think that's a great feature. You know what one of the things I like the most about the firing range, though?
What?
I can fucking see. It's light.
You want to see. You don't need to see.
That's dumb. No, I could see. It's great.
Waste of time. Waste of time.
Oh, man, when we talk about weapons, though, which we may as well go ahead and get into that. I mean, shit.
Well, hold on. Before you jump into weapons, I mean, there's a good one. We have another map coming up, right?
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. I'm an idiot.
This is my favorite map. My favorite Black Ops map of all time. Not just because it's classic, but because it is the best map that Treyarch has ever made. Nuketown drops. It's like the shipment of Black Ops. But unlike shipment, it has flow to it. It has some strategic angles. It's a fun map. It's just a fun map.
There's ways to get through fights in that too. Like in shipment and even Babylon, like you were just talking about. Like, if you're in the fucking blender, you're in the blender. There's literally you have no path out of there. Whereas with Nuketown, you're right. The flow of it's pretty solid. And you can kind of trap people on their side of the street, but there's a way to get out of the fights. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's pathways to go and get out of trouble.
There's tons of ways to handle it. And it's and the spawns are always nice. We'll see if they screw them up, but spawns have always been good there. It's just an enjoyable map. It's a good map. It's a good layout. It's like the classic it's the classic what 6v6 multiplayer should be. Every mode plays well on it. I've never played a bad mode on that map in any year that I've played it. And I've played that mode in every game except for Infinite. So yeah, it's just, I'm excited for it. Throw that in a 27-4 playlist and or mix that up. You know what? Mix that up with a playlist with Skyline, and I'm going to be a happy, happy, happy person, because that, the two best maps of the year back to back, let them run. I'm good. You know what else that I like that they've done? Not just map wise, but like, did you notice that there's like medals and stuff like that too? Like that's Black Ops classic. Yeah, that's a Treyarch staple. Like
I like the medals. I was looking at mine earlier and just seeing some of them. That's really cool. What did you think about, before we get into weapons and stuff? Like, how are you feeling about like the perks, and like what perks are you running right now?
I have the 3 base red perks, double time, and I forget what the other 2 are. Assassin is one, and there's another one. But yeah, the perks are fine. I don't have all of them unlocked, and I have put absolutely no effort into figuring out which ones are the best of the best. But I like the feature where it's like you run 3 perks of the same color and you get like an extra perk. So, but doing that, I like it.
I'm running the Intel one.
Okay.
So the blues, I think I just unlocked, or I'm about to unlock Cold Blooded, which, thank you, Jesus, I will be slapping that on there immediately, so I don't get killed by people's kill streaks. But yeah, I'm running those, and I'm actually, believe it or not, one of the bonuses that you get from the blue is it's a perk that I truly hate. You get high alert. So, but
on Babylon, that's just going to be you're just going to be outlined in orange all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. But like the thing is like I do think that's I will go to my fucking grave and die on the hill that perk should never be in the game. But it is, whatever, whether you agree with me or not. I fucking hate it. But it's part of that, it's part of that bonus. So I'm not running it for that. I'm running that so that way I just run all the blues, because I don't want to be on a UAV, and I don't want to be killed by AI controlled kill streaks, or be seen like when they're dropping the hailstorms and whatever. So that's just always been like the type of perk package that I've always run on, Call of Duty multiplayer. Sometimes I would mix in like engineer or whatever, where like, you can see other people's equipment or and stuff like that. But no, that's the perk package I'm running. I have not unlocked it, but I think maybe 1 or 2. I think I unlocked 2. I just unlocked Overkill, the wild cards. Are you running a wild card yet?
I am running the one the tactical one, the first one you unlock. I'm not going to run Overkill, but I am going to run what's the one where you get the 8 attachments?
That's the guns. It's Gunfighter.
Gunfighter. When I get Gunfighter, I'm going to switch off of that. But until then, I have double flashes. So RIP everybody's screen.
Oh, that's what I was going to mention to you when we talk about that. I mean, like, dude, the duration that lasts, I don't know if it's because people are spamming those, which I do too. I'm not going to lie, dude.
Well, yeah,
I run that same wild card, dude, and I'm just fucking,
yink. Yep.
And so you run that, and then as fast as the field upgrade recharges, like I pretty much always have a throwable. I mean, it's rare that I don't have one. But those flashes, good God. Some maps, like I fucking go the entire time thinking I'm in purgatory or something, where like I just can't see shit.
Yeah, those need adjustments. The nades are fun. I'm enjoying the nades. I'm debating on stims versus flashes, just because depending on the gun that I'm running, being able to regen health quickly is a nice benefit. So I'm like 50-50 on those.
With your red perk. So like your red perk packages, you'll already have that, and you probably wouldn't, because you get that health boost as you kill and the movement bonus too. So you won't have to. You may not have to.
Yeah, I might switch off of red though at some point. So we'll see.
What about green? I don't really know anything about green. I haven't even run any green at all. I probably should look into that.
The fact that I don't know anything about what the green perks are right now shows how useful they are.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's a good system. I'm enjoying the new loadout builder. I'm getting used to and insanely frustrated by the whole your gun modifies Like if you change a gun, it modifies everything everywhere. So you can't save loadouts. You can't save builds right now, as far as I know. Certainly not on console. That feature's broken. Which means if I throw a gun in one class, so for the XM4, right? I built 2 versions of it. I built the so I had the blueprint from the beta, so I threw that on there because it looked nice. And then I built it for kind of mid to long range, right? And then I built another version in a different class because I wanted to be more of like a fast-paced rushing version, so I could get kind of the kills after sprinting faster. And then I switched back to my long-range build, and it was gone because I'd modified the same blueprint.
The blueprint
and that
is messed up, I think.
Is the dumbest thing I've ever come across.
Yeah, I think that blueprint's messed up because I tried to do the same thing and it wouldn't save. Like when I unlocked the suppressor, I tried to put that on there. So I had to basically use the base version. And so I had 2 glitches last night, 2 different ones. One glitch where, so I was using the Willis 3x. That, by the way, write this down. And I got, Jigsy is the one that found this, so all credit to him, but that will be the Warzone meta site, I guarantee you, for ARs. Willis 3x. Mark it down. So I had that on my M4, but you know what it did? Normally it's got mill dots, so it's got the crosshairs with the mill dots. It was glitched where it had just a red dot in the center, which was actually pretty awesome. And what's great about that site too, just so you know, there's no ADS penalty. It's fucking snappy for a 3x.
There's ADS penalties on any of these things.
It's real snappy. So anyway, but then also, the carrying handle that's on M4s, when you put on that sight, normally it's just on the rail. It's on the rail system, not the handle. The handle goes away. So it still had the handle on there with the sight on there. And it took my suppressor off of that build. So I'm like, what? And then the other glitch I had, I tried to pick that build, like that loadout, and all it would give me was the 9mm pistol.
Yeah, I've had that. I had that before. I had that too.
So I got that, and so I had to go, and I ended up running my MP5, my C9, which the irons on that are dog shit, by the way. I fucking hate them. Let's go back to Modern Warfare 2019's irons on the MP5. But anyway, so I've been running that. Those are the 2 guns that I've been running. Dude, unless they do something with that, trying to make sure that we have things maxed out by fucking season 1 when the integration happens, it ain't gonna happen.
We might get 1 gun maxed out by season 1 at this rate.
It's not gonna happen. I mean, just being realistic about it, it seems like it is taking forever to.
I'm going to prestige before I get, at the rate that I'm moving, I'm going to prestige before I get my XM4 maxed out. I'm that far ahead on prestiging on my levels. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why it's taking so damn long.
I mean, it's almost kind of like a trade-off, right? The weapons in the other games maxed out faster, but there was all the bullshit at the end of the muzzle, and they were fucking, hard to use. Whereas these feel great to use, but they're just taking so long to rank up, man.
It's and that was a big problem. People complained endlessly about X-Defiant doing that, right? You had to play X-Defiant so long before you had a gun that was viable, and now it's whatever, right? And so, now we got the same problem here in Black Ops. It's come on, guys. This isn't a problem. This isn't a hard one to solve. If I'm running the table on a lobby and I'm having a really good game, I should come out of it with 2 levels.
Dude, I got almost 1,000 kills, 900 and something with that, just the XM4, and it's not maxed out yet.
I know. I have it gold. It's gold and it's not maxed out. It's not even halfway to maxed out.
In Modern Warfare 3, I could take a new gun and have it maxed out in just a play
2 hours.
session. Yeah.
2 hours tops.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right pace. So I want to say I get the idea because they don't make you. I want to say that I get that they're not making you level the guns before you start the camo grind. Like, so camos kind of go immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that there's a trade-off on that end, but for the casual player, they're going to get frustrated really fast. Like, really fast. If they spend, I don't know, I'm on it 5 hours. I think I logged 5 hours yesterday. I'm not even halfway. And all I ran was the XM4. I didn't touch anything else unless I accidentally picked one up off the ground, trying to reload my gun, because that's the thing.
It's going to be a problem for Warzone, dude, unless they fix it.
Oh, yeah. The Warzone only people are going to get screwed if they don't fix this progression. Like, it's going to be... This will be what kills the game. This is what will destroy the player base, is if they can't even level their guns up. Like, they will just, like, everything else we've dealt with, every other problem that we, the not casual players, have dealt with in this game, the muzzle smoke, the SBMM, just all the shit we spent 2 years complaining about. Okay, the movement, none of that will matter if the casual player can't use guns because they can't level them up. Like, they just will not play the game.
Yeah,
they will
that.
stop, and that will be what destroys the player base, and then it will be SBMM hell for the rest of the year. So they need to get on that before Warzone drops, because the Warzone casuals will be. I mean, good. It'll be good for like a couple of weeks where we can just feast on them because they don't have shit. But it ain't gonna be good.
Well, yeah, and listen. We talked about this last week. We had a great sparring session about it. I'm not naive enough to think that we're ever going to do away with loadouts. Those are staying. They're not going anywhere. And as long as we're going to have loadouts, there's always going to be a broken meta. There's always going to be metas and shit like that. So with that said, you got to make the weapon progression over on the base game. It's got to be faster. Like that you're 100% right. You've got to make that faster. I think that however long it took your buddy on that one gun, that was probably you should be able to max a gun out in 3 hours, Matt. Like, that 3 hours should be tops for how long it takes you to max a gun. Now, unless you're a complete trash can and you're, going 5 and 25 every match, then I can't fucking help you there. But
yeah, well, no, but I mean, Warzone only takes longer, right? It just does. It takes longer to max. So if you're not playing multi, and he didn't have multiplayer at the time. But like, at the pace we're moving, I mean, I feel like Warzone, most players are not going to specifically do things to grind guns. They just don't. They just play the game, right? And they don't hop into Plunder and just take a helicopter and do contracts, right? They don't hop into Warzone and specifically work to grind guns. They just hop into Warzone and play the game, all right? And when you do that, like, the guns have to progress. Like, at this pace, if you just play Warzone, we'll get, like, you're probably looking at like 2-3 guns a season that people will max out playing that way.
Yeah.
Like, it'll never happen. It's
really, I'm just going to be open about this. It's the only real complaint I have about the game. It's really the major one. It's the biggest complaint. Like, just that you're right, dude. Like, man, it's funny. J-Rock was like, yeah, cool. I only got to play Black Ops 6 for 3 weeks. Not at this fucking pace, my dude. You're going to be on this game the entire time, because you're never going to have a meta gun, because it's going to take you, 87 days just to unlock something. So hopefully they'll fix that. I'm not going to, we don't have to beat that horse too much at this point. But the one thing I'm going to say too, and I said this about the beta, and I was hoping that it would be this way when we got to the game, and so far it is. The matchmaking is so much better for me personally. Like, it doesn't matter who I run with. It's fun. I'm having a great time. I'm rarely going. I think I've maybe had 4 or 5 negative matches since Thursday night, and that's a lot of fucking playtime, dude. Like it's fun. We're winning more. Like it's great. I hope it stays this way. And I can play with Jigsy and it's not a problem because he's a complete sweatbag. He doesn't care about Warzone, but multiplayer, he's a fucking sweatbag, dude. It's crazy.
As he should be. But yeah, no, I agree. It felt easy. Like, not easy. That's not the right word, but the games have been better than they were at launch of Modern Warfare 3. Less sweaty, right? Less intense. Which, one of two things is true. Either they've tuned down SPMM or there's enough casuals to make it actually enjoyable for everybody, to make it work. So, either way, having fun, enjoying it. W.
Yep.
Matchmaking's not bad. Yeah. What else is there to talk about on this one? It's enjoyable. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to when it integrates to Warzone. I think as long as they get this, what's it called, going? This weapon progression going.
Dude, like we were just saying, we've both only been using the M4. I've been using the M4 and the C9 or MP5. Those are the two weapons I've been using. But I accidentally got my M4 gold. I don't know how I did that or what was even supposed to happen for me to do that. But yeah, I have gold on my M4.
Well, because the challenges are very... the challenges for the most part are very much play-based, right? I think there's one challenge that like you have to have the right perk on or something to make it work. But otherwise, it's getting a gun gold is just going to be playtime because you need 100 headshots, and then there's two camos. One is you have to have 30 kills shortly after sprinting. And the other one is what's the other one? I can't remember. But it's normal. It's normal play.
That seems pretty like all that stuff seems pretty easy. I mean, you still have to be able to hit headies, like but just overall, it seems pretty easy.
You're gonna hit headies naturally. You're just gonna do it. Whether if you're trying, you'll do it more often. But I mean, you're hitting 16%. That's not bad.
I am personally.
Mm-hmm. You are.
So 16% of my kills are headshots.
Yeah.
What's my accuracy? Does it say?
Look.
Oh,
I didn't look, but your headshot percent was 16, so it's not bad.
Oh, that's not enough. I need it to do more.
I
25. Practice that shit. It should be higher than 16%.
I don't practice shit. I'm 25%.
Fuck off. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, dude, as much time and effort I put into this, I should be way better than I am. Maybe I'm just a trash can. I don't know.
Oh, but it's one of those things of like, it's a trade-off though, because I'm working. We are. I was looking at the stats before I went to bed last night. This is how I know. The leaderboards are working this time for once.
Yeah, I need to look at that too.
But you and I are the almost exact same ED.
Really?
1.13, 1.14.
Yeah, mine, like the last few matches last night got extremely sweaty and we got Peter rolled, so mine went down. But what I'm trying to do is what I want to do, because I don't want this to happen again. I'm trying to build a big enough cushion to where when I go through those rough stretches, it doesn't matter, right? Like, so the last game, and so let's back up. I spent the last week grinding multiplayer before this game came out on Modern Warfare 3 because I was close enough with my kill death ratio to where I was going to be, break even, right? Like I was close enough to an exact 1.0. I've been at like a 0.99 for a long time.
Yeah.
So I grinded that. And let me tell you something. When I say that I don't think I've ever sweat as much on a fucking game as I did the last week of Modern Warfare 3, I'm not exaggerating, dude. I was running into 3 stacks of Eries, duo Eries, crims, fucking like, dude, it was unreal. And I ended up doing it. So the last night, like Tuesday night, I had to leave Wednesday, and I didn't think I was going to be back in time to play on Thursday night. So I tried to do it on Wednesday. When I started the night, I needed to net 124 kills. I played 7 hours and I netted 125 kills, only because the last 4 matches I swapped over to shipment. And just I had a couple matches that were not so great, and then I had one match where I just fucking went ham, and I netted like 30 kills in one match. So I ended up doing it, and then I added on a little bit more to it on Thursday before this launched. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to basically build a big enough cushion where when I go through those struggles, which I know I'm going to, that's just the way things are. Yeah. It's the way I do in these games. I have a cushion and I don't have to, because it bugs me, dude. I hop on this game. I play this game for one reason. It's to kill other players. Like, that's it, to get kills. And I mean, I want to win, obviously, but like in Warzone, your chances of winning are so small anyway. Like it's a small win. So at the very least, I want to get kills. I want to get more kills than I'm getting killed, and if I'm less than that, and it's a negative number, it just bugs me. I don't like it. So,
I have hit a point where I don't care about winning and losing, specifically because it's kind of like basketball, right? Like, how many times do you in a game does anybody like have a memorable shot? Right? It's routine. There's hundreds of them in every game, right? And getting wins in multiplayer feels that way to me. It's like it's one win. It looks and feels exactly like hundreds of others. And
there's no dopamine hit.
And I have tried to hit clips. Like, I'll hit clips in the game. It's like, here's a 3-piece, here's a Fury kill, here's all this other stuff. And then when I go back and I look at them, they all look the same. I don't feel that there's any differentiation between kills in this in multiplayer, and wins are just, you just run through wins so fast. So I don't care, and I can tell you where the SPMM has kicked in for me. It's giving me absolutely wall-licking burgers as teammates. Like, I am routinely the only player on my team above a 1. Everybody else will be between like a 0.4 and like a 7.
King and I had that last night, dude. We had yesterday afternoon. We had 1 or 2 matches where the bottom 4 players on our team were like 5 and 28, 7 and 22, like 4 and 18, and we of course we ended up losing that match. But
well, obviously
we won more. Overall we've been winning a lot more. But like So that was like the big thing for me about the matchmaking side of it it was just 2 points. One, I don't want to be punished for doing well, like put in lobbies way above my skill level just because I have some good matches. I don't like that. And 2, I wanted to be able to squad up with whomever the fuck I want. Like, I have friends. I legitimately have friends that are all over the skill spectrum. I have a bunch of friends that are way better than me. I have friends that are not as good as me. I want to be able to play with whomever I want and it not be a shit show. And so far, it has not. I played with Jigsy all night last night, and it was good.
Yeah, no, I feel like they've changed how the lobbies get built in a way. Because it doesn't feel like they're building lobbies in the same like, you had a good game, therefore we're gonna put you in a lobby that's all Yuris and Crims, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting a mix. And then they're balancing the teams based on like the team balance. So like, I'll have like 2 or 3 good games where I'll win a couple, and then I'll have some really good, I'll come out like a 2 or 3 KD out of the match, and then, and then that's when I start getting the rest of my squad are just friggin' licking paint, and I'll get that for a little bit, and I'll take that trade off over the whole lobby being just jam packed with like great players. I will say, I don't know what it is. The game seems to find players that like know how to counter my play style and put them on the other team. I've had a couple of games where it's like I'm dying to the same guy over and over and over, and it's like I'm still going positive. I'm still finding guys to kill, but like I run into one guy and it's like I can't beat him. I can't kill that sumbitch.
I had that several times last night.
And then I'm like, dude, I wonder if he's either like some superstar player or he's like just crushing the lobby, or maybe he's sauced. I don't know. And I'll check the scoreboard at the end, and he's probably killed one other player one time, and the rest of them he just finds me and kills me.
Yeah, dude. So like that's the frustrating thing. I know we're talking about Black Ops, but like that's the frustrating thing about Warzone is like when the same player kills you like 3 or 4 times because of all the ways you can come back. Like that is so goddamn frustrating. It's like, just let me take my L and move on. Like, but yeah, here in like Black Ops, it felt like that last night too. Like there's just a couple of matches where for whatever reason, I'm killing literally everybody else on the team, but this one dude, and just getting shit on repeatedly by that dude. But you know what, dude? I'll take it. If it stays just like this, I'll take it all day long.
Have you gotten kill of the game yet?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got one for a nice 3-piece that I had, on Babylon with a nade, but playing with Jigsy and King, I'm not going to get very many of those. King got every fucking one of them when it was just like he and I playing for like 4 or 5 hours yesterday, and Sweet. He got every single one of them. And then once Jigsy entered the equation, forget it. He's cocky too. That son of a bitch comes in chat and he says, "Hey, tell King the play of the game is mine," just so he knows. And I'm just like. But no, it was it was just so much fun. I even got to play with my guy Roots. I have not played Call of Duty with that dude in a while. He's the guy that I got a duo trios win on Verdansk with.
Nice.
Where we shit on the entire lobby. It was great. Like I miss playing with him. It's great getting to actually play with and be around people that walked away from this game in 22
and are coming back.
Because they've come back. So yesterday morning, and I've said this I think I've said this on Twitter several times and on this podcast, but Just Reloaded, I mod for him. He was a Mixer partner, Twitch partner. I found him on Black Ops 4, and I've been following him ever since and been a part of that community. And that's where a lot of the people that come in, like my chat, are from. Like he was a big Call of Duty player. He was creating full time, and then he went back to work, and then he just fired up his stream yesterday morning for the first time in like 2 years. Everybody came back, dude. It was awesome. It was just great, seeing everybody excited about Call of Duty again. The community being together, like it was just fucking awesome, dude.
I love it. That's awesome. It does seem to be pulling people back in. And it's a good game. Like I think for a launch day, and let's be clear. A lot of times, at launch, games are problematic, right? If we remember, MW2 launched and like PC players couldn't play because the NVIDIA drivers were bugged. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then there was Caldera dropped and console players couldn't play because bugged. And then MW3 was a good launch. No problems with that. Cold War had problems. Warzone crashed when it first launched.
Well, Warzone 2 was a problem too because I was getting disconnected. I got disconnected several times and missed out on a bunch of wins because of that. Can we agree that probably the worst Call of Duty launch was World War II? That headquarters wouldn't work. You couldn't even play it. Like Just and his group, they all took off the next day and they were going to stay up and play it. They never got to play it until the next day. You couldn't squad up. You couldn't like the headquarters, which was a great idea. Like I like the idea of that headquarters, but they just didn't execute it. And it never actually fully worked the way they said it was going to. But comparatively speaking, like this game to others, this game is, I think, pretty smooth, minus the few dev errors and a couple bugs.
Yeah.
No, they're already patching stuff.
I feel like the change to the COD HQ system has improved the launch quality of the games. So MW2 being the first one aside, because, let's just, growing pains were felt there and nobody cared because people hated it. But everything since then, MW3, this one, like the Warzone 3, hopefully the next Warzone, all the different all the different iterations of Resurgence maps that dropped.
Mm-hmm.
They were all pretty good. Like the launches were all smooth, versus before where it's like they would ship something and break 27 different things and like the stim glitch would come back or holes in the maps. You know what I haven't seen in a long time? In fact, I haven't seen at all since this map, since we switched to this new engine. Holes in the maps. Have you run into that?
Say that again?
Holes in the map where you could get inside the map?
I haven't run into that yet, no.
I haven't run into that since we got out of the IW8 engine. Like, think about it. Like, remember when people would get like into the garage, the walls of the garages in Verdansk, and you just like you'd walk by and you get beamed by somebody, and you're like, "There's nobody there," and you look and they're like they're all in the wireframe, like watching you, and stuff like that. Like, Rebirth had a ton of those problems. And it just every map that they ever put out in Warzone 1 era had that problem. I haven't seen that since. That hasn't been a thing. So, whatever they fixed, whatever they did in this new engine, in this new system, it's fixed a lot of problems that we had reoccurring. So, and now we just have had to fight back against design choices and not bugs or system defects. So, I think Treyarch has done. Look, I'll give. I think it's worth giving the last game props for listening as much as they could. I mean, clearly they were under the pressure of Infinity Ward, and they succeeded in pushing a lot of that back. And Treyarch has produced a game that is fun to play. We're having a good time.
Feels like Call of Duty, doesn't it?
It's getting there. And,
It feels like Call of Duty and not a store simulator. Which, by the way, I bought that endowment pack just because I thought that operator looked dope, and obviously I want to support veterans getting jobs, especially considering a lot of the people in my community are veterans, and Veterans Day is next month. So, I bought that endowment pack. The operator's pretty fucking slick.
Where is he? I can't find him.
He is Dalton. No, it's Payne. I think he's Payne. But the other thing is too, and I can't remember where it is, but it might be through USAA. For many of you that may not know, USAA is, and I'm fortunate enough to bank with them just via being grandfathered in, literally. They are a bank that really caters to current and past military personnel. But there's a thing through them, I guess, where if you were a veteran, you can actually get a code and then get that endowment pack for free.
Sweet.
So that's really
good to know.
Yeah, no, I think that's really really cool. Really, really cool. And I think it's the first British operator too, which,
Isn't Price British?
No, but he wasn't an endowment pack operator, I don't think.
Okay.
Because Tactical Brit, actually, I think he made the tweet, like, this is the first one that's featured like this that's an actual Brit. So,
okay.
And I'm like, I'm not British, but I like the look of the operator. He's got a balaclava, or as the kids say these days, a shiesty, which dumb as fuck. It's a goddamn balaclava. You know what I mean? Like, but I have that, and there's a cool variant for the Ames, which I don't know. I'll maybe get to work on that next year, like we talked about as it is. But no.
The blueprints that come with that pack are sick. They've got like that oil. That active oil that drips down. I picked it up as well because same reasons you talk about. Operator is Rose 3.0, and the and the blueprints are pretty sick. So yeah, I think it's good. I couldn't find that operator last night. Maybe I was just tired. But
it's paid.
Yeah. All right, I will hunt him down. But otherwise, yeah, it's been a good launch. Oh shoot, I was just going to talk about something that came up. Damn it, I didn't write it down. Now I can't remember.
Sorry,
all right,
I probably sidetracked you. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention too. Listen, we're all on social media, right? Like we're because we are addicts. We're on social media and we talk about the game a lot. And you know, for many of us, especially like our podcast, this show is not going to be all fucking, you know, rainbows and butterflies. Like if there are things worth criticizing about the game, whether it be us individually or us as a podcast, we're going to talk about that. And you want to know why we talk about that? Because we are passionate about it. And, you know, Silencer, the homie Silencer, and if you guys are not following him across the socials and over on Twitch, Silencer GG, he's part of the Black Flag org. Really awesome. But he had a really great tweet. Did you see it?
When?
This morning.
I have not been on. I literally rolled out of bed and came over here. So
I'm
as
we
mentioned, I was dragging.
yeah, that's right. You said your ad was dragging though, so I'm like, all right. Yeah, you are fucking dragging. But anyway, so this is what he said. I feel like this is kind of relevant because, you know, we all care about Call of Duty a lot. And he says, good morning. I do want to say this. I absolutely love Call of Duty and want it to be the best it can be. And me personally, I'm a very content person. I take what I see with my own eyes and believe me, I am used to dealing with the cards that life has dealt me. We all know things don't work out as much as we want them to, but we turn shit to ice cream the majority of the time. One thing we all have in common is our absolute passion and love for Call of Duty in general. I was reminded yesterday how much this game means to me. It means a lot to us too. And probably means to the majority of you who speak your minds on it every day. You all have a right to speak up and out because we all love this game. Everybody wants it to be the best we know it can be. So if you have an opinion on the game, express it. Don't be afraid to tell them what we see. Be respectful with it, of course. All I want to do is enjoy the game, and I want everybody to come to stream who just want to have a good time. Here is to the new Call of Duty. Like that, honestly, dude, that's probably one of the best tweets I've seen in a long time, especially, you know, because like we've raised issues on Twitter a lot, and there's always a certain crowd that's like, oh, why are you complaining? You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, if you hate the game, you know, like this stuff, like, no, dude, we talk about it because we care about it. We love it. Like we want it to be good. This game right now makes me feel the way it made me feel back when Black Ops 2 came out.
Yeah. You know, and here's the problem is there's always going to be things people don't like. And, you know, and here's the thing. People can disagree. Like last episode, you and I had a pretty solid disagreement over some topics.
I mean, I was right, but yeah, we disagreed.
In before I could get it in there, you stole my thunder again.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just you know, I feel like we've entered this phase of the world in which everybody feels like everything has to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
There's this idea that if you're not 100% on board, then you know we can't be friends, and that is the dumbest thing the dumbest mentality I've ever come across. I mean, the only thing that I think everybody should agree with is that cheaters are fucking pieces of shit and need to be should be devoid of all joy in their life. But other than that, like, we're gonna have disagreements. There's things that I like about other games that other people don't like, and things that people like about the game that I don't like. And that's what makes, the thing that makes Call of Duty enjoyable is that there is something in this game for everybody. And I think it's critical to remember that there's something for everybody in the game. And the devs have to remember this too, is that the game there has to be something for everybody. It can't be all one audience, one type of player.
No, and it shouldn't be.
And to that end, it's like, the only way that we're going to get to the bottom of, how much better loadouts are than looting for attachments is if we talk about it and we have that conversation. And then, when one side wins, we're gracious and we just let you buy a blueprint from the store.
I will say this, though. I think that, to bring that back up, I think that you were a little confused at what I was saying, because in no way would I advocate for Call of Duty to do a BR the way Fortnite is in terms of color-coded loot. That's not what I want at all. I want just a base gun where you find attachments, kill somebody, take their shit, and you move on. Like, that's what I was advocating for. Not if you find a green and I have an orange and then we're last circle and I automatically have the advantage. That I don't want that either. Like, that's not it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll revisit this one on it. We don't need to have this conversation 2 episodes in a row. But yeah, I think it's important that when we as players, we voice our opinions, we have good opinions, we talk about it, and we keep the discussion up. I mean, it's great for impressions, so we all like that, but it's also good for, it's good for the community, and it's good for the devs to see what people are actually, what they actually think in the wild, right? Like,
they monitor it, social media, like you talked about.
Absolutely.
You have a software you use. Mark Rubin from X Defiant, more or less, he confirmed that they monitor sentiment on social media. Like, it matters, like, to get your opinion out there. Like, I think that's the whole point of why I brought this up, because just because you feel a certain way, you shouldn't be trying to silence other people. Like,
exactly.
And by saying stop complaining or don't put stuff out on social media, that's essentially what you're doing. You're trying to delegitimize their feelings or their wants on it. Like, so no, you don't have to agree with me. Post whatever the fuck you want. If it gets to a point where I don't like it, guess what I'm going to do? And I've muted several people. I'll just fucking mute you.
You can unmute me one of these days. Feel free.
Oh, stop it. Well, stop posting 20-minute videos like fucking late as shit, and I can't watch them, dude. I told you, give me 3 minutes or less, and I'll watch every single one of them.
Don't constrain my style. Don't crimp my style, man. I have really been kind of entertained. I say entertained, but kind of frustrated watching people talk about the terms of service. I can tell who's read it and who hasn't, because they're all over the place. But I want to talk about the trip to New Zealand topic, which I know you're over it. I find it funny as hell, because the sheer amount of off the cuff, like, tongue in cheek comments that come out. But the number of people that get mad about it is hilarious, because here's the thing. No one's breaking terms of service by going to New Zealand. You're just changing your region. I'm going to let everybody in on a secret. When it comes to, like, something like Call of Duty, we're all familiar with how good the servers are and how stable the game servers are, right? And how solid they are, and how they never have problems, right?
Okay.
Those are the good servers. There's a separate bank of servers that handle things like authentication, like logging in, right? That are on the Wish discount servers. Those are the servers they bought from Temu. Can you imagine 10 million people clicking login at the same time if they did a universal launch?
Yeah, I mean, they have to stagger it. I get it. And so let me say this. I tweeted about that, and I said it was lame, but I was not mad about it. If you want to do that, cool. I'm not going to. I miss the nostalgia of waiting until midnight, and, even go, now that everything's digital, you can't do it, but like going to GameStop and stuff like that. But especially if you're like a content creator, I kind of get why they do it, dude. Like, fuck it. Why waste 12 hours doing something else when you could just change your region and go? Yeah. Where it's all the lame ass, oh, we're going to New Zealand flight. Like, I got a flight to New Zealand. Like, that shit that's lame as fuck. And honestly, it just occurred to me, next year, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to mute the word New Zealand so I don't have to see it. And then people can tweet it all they want.
The Tourism Council is offended.
Huh?
The Tourism Council of New Zealand will be offended.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna mute it. Like, but no, like it doesn't bother me. Like I wasn't mad about it. I can't believe how much that tweet popped off. That's not why I posted it, but like I had people coming into that tweet and they're like, "You bro is big mad" or whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm not mad. And they're like, "Yes, you are. You're mad." I'm like, no, I'm not. I said, actually, you're the one that's mad because you've commented on this tweet like 3 times. You're clearly triggered. I'm not mad. You are.
Yeah. Well, I posted. I shared a screenshot of Shawnee. Shanice.
Yeah.
Terrible with names. Talking about the weather in New Zealand and all that stuff. Which, my expectation is people would realize who that is and then they would laugh about it. And people got mad. They were super mad that it sounded like I was saying something that I wasn't saying. But for anybody who's concerned about whether or not Call of Duty sees this as a violation of its terms of service, I'm going to point you to the Call of Duty official Twitter account. And they posted this yesterday where they are actually tracking the race to see who will be Prestige Master first, right? And in this tweet, they say, today's race to Prestige ranking update, the top 3 keep their spots after 2 days of competition. That means they acknowledge and support players who do not live in New Zealand having 2 days of gameplay at the end of launch day.
Do you think that's just a jealousy thing? I kind of think it is, actually. I think there are people that are legitimately jealous that they are not going. A, they're jealous they don't get to play as much as the creators play. But B, they're jealous because they're fucking playing the game 12 hours before everyone else is. Which, again, I don't have a problem with it. Go ahead. Cool, man. Like, just stop with the lame shit, the lame tweets. That's all I'm saying.
Don't listen to Jay. The lame shit's funny. I like it. But, but that's the thing, right? Like, it's not no one's breaking terms of service. It's not.
No, it's not true.
And I think people are thinking back to the day, in the physical media days, the games would have a street date, and every now and again, a retailer would slip up and let copies loose early. And then so people would play the game early, right? That's different, right? So if people tried to play the game before it released in New Zealand, that would violate terms of service because the game's not released. You're breaking street date. Okay? 12 midnight in New Zealand or whatever, noon, I don't know, whenever it came out in New Zealand, the game was out. The servers are on, right? The only reason they don't open the floodgates to say everybody can play right now is because the authentication servers would just crash and melt down and probably start a big fire. So they have to, they stagger it. They do the 12 a.m. release across the world. And you know what? They opened everything early, by the way. Everything went live early.
It wouldn't launch for me through the Xbox PC Pass. Like it didn't launch until like right at 11, basically.
Yeah, but
so it's 11 my time because for America, basically, like the release is at 12 Eastern, right? So it was 11 my time. That would be 9. You guys should have had access to it at 9, right?
Or 9 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. If I could get access at 9 p.m., that would be great.
Change your region.
That's too much work. I'll just wait, dude.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things of like, they're not like, they don't care at the end of the day. Like Call of Duty doesn't care about this. They let it happen. They could easily fix that if they wanted to, but they're leaned into it as much as everybody else. And I just want people to chill a little bit when they start going off the rails about what breaks terms of service and what doesn't, because let's be honest, most people have never read the terms of service, and they're definitely not lawyers. So
that's pretty evident with some of the people we have to deal with.
And look, I mean, there's some times where I talk about terms of service, and it's because I have read them, and I have actually brought them to a lawyer friend to make sure my interpretation is correct. And most of the time, the interpretation is, it depends, right?
Like, it's rather ambiguous then.
It is very ambiguous. And so, when people say definitively, this violates terms of service, if it's not explicitly violating terms of service, like installing cheats, the odds are it probably doesn't, especially if Call of Duty doesn't address it.
Well, it's like anything that alters like game code or anything like that. Obviously, that's going to be against the TOS. But something like this, and I mean, I think even whether you agree with the two boxing or not, that's not against terms of service.
Nope.
Nowhere does it say that you can't have a second account. Like they've never said you can't have a second account, and then how that account plays is if it's a trash can account. Like nope. I mean, seriously,
it is what it is.
Like when I created a second account back in Blackout once I reached max level because they hadn't released like a Blackout like prestige type thing, and we just wanted something to play for. We wanted a reason to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's so much that goes into what's a violation and what's not. But I think the most recent blog post clarifies it really well. When they talked about, excuse me, what did they had a blog post and they talked about kind of protecting Call of Duty, and I think it was the Ricochet one, and they talk about it, and they use this phrasing that says, what is cheating? They consider cheating anything that gives a player, and this is their words, anything that gives a player an unfair advantage in-game using nefarious software like wall hacks or perfect aim, not to be confused with any abuse of in-game glitches.
I think
they're drawing a strong distinction between using cheating software and being a dick. And what they're saying is, and then they talk about account sharing and stuff, which has always been a no-no. But things like two boxing, right? Or if you want to get into it, slide canceling in Modern Warfare 1 or 2019 era, that was a glitch. That was an in-game glitch. It was not supposed to, doing that action was not supposed to do anything. It shouldn't have reset your tac sprint. And Call of Duty could have banned everybody who slide cancels, in theory. But they're clarifying that you're abusing an in-game glitch, and they don't consider that cheating. And to be honest, when Call of Duty decides they don't like something like that, they just fix the glitch, right? They're not going to. You don't get banned for using the game that they give you, and so you don't get banned for using it in the matchmaking. You don't get banned for that. Like, that's not how they structure the game.
Yeah, I mean, they fixed the slide canceling thing for Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, and that fucking worked out really well, and so well that they brought it back in Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6. So
yeah, it worked out great.
It's one of those things that is like, why they left it in Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone 1? Because at the time, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a large group of people that were complaining about the pacing of the game.
Yeah. I mean, Modern Warfare 2019 got super sweaty after a while. Like it was hard to not sweat. I thought Vanguard's multiplayer, after they got through the launch period, probably by like February, was actually fun. I enjoyed Vanguard multiplayer. Like, I didn't play it much aside from weapon leveling, but when I did play it, taught me to love DOS House. That map is a lot of fun, but just the speed and the fluidity that they put into the game, and the way that they made things like Warzone, like slide canceling, a part of the game instead of being a glitch, it was great. It was really fun. And this Black Ops, I'll say, feels like that. It's got fluidity. It's got balance. I don't feel encumbered by everything that I do, except for getting stunned. That sucks. That mechanic is the worst.
It's the Flash, dude. I fucking, like I've said before, I turn into Helen Keller for a minute when that happens. I can't see or hear shit.
I get annoyed by that. Like when I get flashed, I throw my nades and start shooting my gun. Like I just unload everything and I've gotten kills that way, where it's just like I'm just blindly shooting, and the guy who threw the stun comes in and gets killed, which I think is hilarious. But or one where I threw the grenade. I got myself turned around, so I'm like facing the wall, and I bounced the grenade off the wall, and then the guy came in and killed me, and then the grenade blows up. And so in the kill cam, I'm facing the wall, shooting the wall, and I throw the grenade off, and then he comes in and kills me, and then he blows up in the kill cam. It was great. But the stun effect, because you get that from being near an explosion too. And so it's not just stuns, it's the explosion. That I hate that mechanic. It drives me nuts. But otherwise, it's fluid, it's fun. Have a good time playing the game. And they've done a better job of focusing on the things that make it fun and not getting into the nitty-gritty weeds of trying to control your emotions and control the way the game is played. I think that's the important part. Is they're much more hands-off with stuff. And so things like, little things like going to New Zealand, they're leaned into it. They're like, whatever, have fun with it. And I think that's important.
Yeah, that's ultimately why we want to have fun. Now, different people have fun different ways, I guess. But no, it's I think they've accomplished that. And there's talk about it being a 4-year development cycle and all that. And honestly, after what we've gone through the last few years, if I were to give them a grade right now, I would give them an A. I think they did not miss with this title, and I'm cautiously optimistic about the integration into Warzone. Mainly what's giving me pause right now is just the rate, like we talked about, that we're able to max out guns and rank weapons up. But once they get that fixed, I think it's gonna be fun, dude.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. I think it's gonna go well. I'm looking forward to it. I think the integration will be good. I hope we get some intel here soon. Maybe into next month. First part, because 14th, right? 14th we get integration.
November 14th. That was leaked through Little Caesars, which seems pretty quick to me, but also to think about this, it kind of makes a little sense. So I saw something else. I can't remember the source that I saw it from, but they said that the Game Pass sales are going to go up, but the game unit sales will go down. And it's going to end up being like a trade-off almost.
Sure.
Price-wise. So I think that, obviously right now we're in season 0. There's no battle pass. There's none of that. And they probably just want to get the store kicked off and start making some money.
Is the battle pass running, still running in the MW3?
Oh, I don't know. I maxed mine out a long time ago, so I stopped looking at it. I'm sure it is.
I need to go back and finish that.
I'm pretty sure it probably will until season 1.
All right. I got to take a day and go finish that off. Has anybody tried the token thing? Like starting a token in MW3 and switching over?
No.
Because remember you can do that in Vanguard?
Yeah, that's right.
You could start a token in Vanguard and then switch, or in Warzone and switch over to Vanguard and it would run. Wonder if those still work. I'm mad. I have like hundreds of tokens that are all useless.
What level have you gotten to? What's your level right now in Black Ops 6?
19.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at 40 right now, and so I'd like to ideally prestige by the end of tomorrow. I'm going to do that. So
yeah, I'll be prestige by the end of the weekend here. I like the way that they're doing it. Let's talk about prestige for a minute, because I was concerned because I remember back in the day when you prestige, like you started over, and that sucked. They're doing a good job this year where all of your weapon attachments and stuff don't relock. So as soon as you get access to your gun, you get all the builds and everything you've done.
So you get access to the weapon itself locks, then you unlock it, but then once it's unlocked again, you have everything.
You don't have to grind.
Oh my God. Can you imagine how that would be like with the way it is right now? Holy hell. Yeah, that would never work. And I've seen some of our friends or just some people that we know on Twitter that like have had a little concern about how it's going to impact Warzone. I don't think it's going to impact Warzone at all. As far as, if you prestige and you don't have access to your weapon in Black Ops, do you have access to that weapon over on Warzone? I don't think that's going to be an issue at all.
I think it will. I think Prestige will go on both sides because remember it's unified progression, so you don't get to be in one and the other.
That doesn't make sense then. Why, if you're going to have loadouts, you can't do that. You can't do it that way. It won't work.
Well, so this is what they said: is they said when you Prestige, your stuff is still there. Your loadouts are still put together, and as soon as you have everything unlocked, you get it all back. It all comes back. Your blueprints come back. Like your saved builds are still there. Everything's ready for you. You just have to earn it. So it's like remember when MW3 dropped and MW2 dropped too, and you jump in the game and you have to start over, even in Warzone, right? So like Warzone only players, when they jumped into the MW3 integration, they started at level 1. They didn't have loadouts, right? They were restricted from all that stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that I get, but you get that at level 4.
Right. And that starts over. So level 4, you will unlock it, but you won't have access to the... And they said that the builds, I believe they said that your purchased blueprints or unlocked blueprints are accessible, but you can't add things, like you can't... did they say that? Let me double check. I believe that's what they said. So it's not as impactful as the old Prestiges, but like you can't put grenades on your loadout until you unlock them. You can't put, you can't access the gun until you unlock it, right? And then all the blueprints are there.
I'm telling you, that's not going to work in Warzone. That can't work. If you're going to have a meta system, it can't work.
But that's the point of what makes it exciting is that you have to, if you're going to Prestige, you have to man up and do it.
Yeah, if they do it that way, the way you're describing, I'm telling you, A, I'll never agree with that. B, it's just silly as fuck. Like, there's no way that should happen in Warzone. It's got to be, that whole thing has got to be separate because that's a problem.
Let me see. Where's the blog?
Because then, like, why would anybody want a Prestige then? Because a lot of people just play Warzone. Like, you're kind of taking away the incentive to do it.
Well, but it's the challenge, right? It's the what do you grind for? So it's like...
Yeah, but, okay. We've talked about this. This player base is a low-effort player base. We don't care about...
But then they won't Prestige. Like, but that's kind of the point, right? That's always what made Prestiging, so good. And so this is when Black Ops first came out and they did this system, right? And I think it was an MW2 as well. Don't quote me on that. But when the system first came out, I didn't play enough. I was the ultimate casual. I played 7 to 10 games a year. I didn't main any one game. I played a game till I got boring and moved on. And so it would take me months to hit level 55. The idea that I would start over, and and when I think in Modern Warfare 2, I prestiged twice. And every time you do it, it's like you just get shit on. Like you do it and you just know you're going to get shit on until you can get your, built up a little bit more. But, it's not a walk in the park. It's not, that's what makes people with a high prestige so so worth your respect, because that they have repeatedly put themselves at a disadvantage by prestiging, by not having access to their weapons, by not having access to what's meta, to what's good. Right? They got to use that whatever piece of crap, is at the low levels to unlock.
We don't respect good players anymore.
Well, because haven't you heard they're all cheating? Obviously.
Yeah, well, no. Well, they're either cheating or fuck them kind of thing. Like we don't, as a player base, we don't respect good players anymore. Like that's sad to me because I personally do. Like if you're good at the game, I want to learn from you. That kind of thing. Like
doesn't mean I want to face you every game.
No, I don't want to fucking play against you every single game. But we don't respect good players anymore. We used to.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I think I'm looking for that blog post so I can be accurate. I hate.
Yeah, and then we got to wrap up here.
Good shit to do.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, I'll tell chat. I've got to take my 4-year-old. She's probably between 90 and 100-pound German Shepherd, who has got a serious case of the wiggles to the vet, and I've got to manage to put her harness on because she slips out of her collar because she wiggles, and then get her big ass in the car and go get her shots. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, good deal. That sounds like fun. All right, here's the prestige. Here's how it works, and we'll end on this. Okay. Choosing to prestige, it wouldn't be a classic prestige if it wasn't a little dangerous. Choosing prestige in past Call of Duty titles wasn't without its risks, and that's no different in Black Ops 6. What makes the choice to enter prestige, and you'll get promoted to Prestige 1, but it will also be reset to player level 1. All level unlocks will be relocked and must be unlocked again, except for base operators, emotes, and zombies, gobblegums. As well as anything you permanently unlock. More on that later. Your loadouts will be reset. Lifetime stats will remain viewable in the combat record, but your stats elsewhere in the game will only show stats for your current prestige. So that starts over. However, the following items will not be relocked or reset. And this is why it's going to be fine for Warzone. Weapon progression, camos, and reticles. W. Weapon builds. Your favorite weapon may be relocked, but all the builds you've created for it will be waiting for you when you reach the level needed to unlock it again. Challenge progress and unlocks. Store and battle pass content. Operator and emote unlocks. Zombie gobblegums. Additionally, any items you have a blueprint or skin for will remain permanently unlocked through prestige. That means if you have a blueprint for the AS Val rifle, it won't be relocked when you prestige. Same goes for any equipment field upgrade score streaks that you possess skins for. So, aka Black Cell stuff. So, what that means for Warzone is that and I'm curious how the DLC weapons going forward will be. My guess is they will remain unlocked. So I think down the road, the meta is not going to be affected too much. But it's going to be like classic prestige. You hit the button, and you're going to be shit on for a little bit until you can get some stuff opened up again. Not a big deal. And for folks who are, once we're through this camo grind and like we, by the launch of Black Ops 6 or Black Ops 7, we'll have most of the guns leveled up, and we'll actually be able to just prestige, and it's just a matter of like grinding through early a little bit. So I don't have a problem with it. I think they're doing it well. I was worried that everything was going to reset. My fear was that you would have to start weapon level 1 again. That would have made it untenable.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I still don't think that really spelled out what they're doing exactly in Warzone, but they're going to release that. So
yeah, they'll tell us.
We'll have all the details. So I don't want to knee jerk too much about it, but no, I think like the seasonal like prestige caps or level caps that we've had for the last couple years are
stupid.
They're maddening, dude. Like you got to give people a reason to play. Like people want to grind. Like not all. Some of us want to grind levels and stuff, not necessarily grind camos. Like
I think the worst part was like as the camo grinder, how much I had gotten done before season 1 started, and that was and then all the XP that I earned grinding camos was wasted. It was a waste. Think about it. So I think that this is going to be a positive way of doing it. I think it's going to be better received than the level caps that we've had, which I always thought was stupid, right? Because it's just playtime.
But
there's no skill in it.
That certain studio is tone deaf enough to where they're going to fucking revert back to that shit when they get their title. Yeah, like
we'll see.
It would not surprise me at all.
You know what? You know what'll change that is if this game does gangbusters all year and Microsoft says, if you guys fuck this up, we're closing your studio. They'll do it too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
They would absolutely close that studio if this game sells Game Pass like crazy, and then they try and pull that MW2 shit again, you will see Microsoft shut down Infinity Ward and say, good night. Thank you for fucking things up.
Yeah. We'll see, man.
We'll see. But on that, I know you got to get to your vet. I know your appointment to go. So I want to thank everybody for hopping in. Appreciate you all. Going to run the jingle, and then we'll catch you guys on the next one. Maybe it'll run.
Not even close, Jay. But have a good day, my friend.